Hi there, I'm Tristan from Exhibit Detailing. Here we're about to prep this Audi R8 for ceramic coating. So we're going to go through and give it a full decontamination clean and get it all ready for our paint correction process.
Living life up in the fast lane. Hey. Living life up in the fast lane. And I ain't slowing down, I ain't slowing down, I ain't slowing down. Living life up in the fast lane. Pedal to the ground, pedal to the ground, pedal to the ground. Living life up in the fast.
So we're about to prep this R8 for our ceramic coating. We're going to go through and give the wheels a deep clean and then snow foam the car, and from there we'll go and give it a hand wash and a clay bar, all ready for our paint correction. So we're going to do our sort of pre-clean with a gear and iron wheel cleaner. It's pH neutral, so it's safe on carbon ceramics and all sorts of things too. Not a problem on this car, but when you're dealing with all sorts of different supercars, we've got to keep that in mind, as normal brake cleaners will actually damage the rotors. They're quite an expensive thing to replace. So we want to make sure we get nice even coverage throughout the barrel and on the spokes. It'll help our cleaning process. These wheels will get taken off later on and then get a second clean off the car, so we get all through the barrels properly before we go and apply our ceramic coat to them. Next step, part of our washing, is we're going to do a snow foam. While the car's still dry, so we're going to aerate all the dirt that's on it, hopefully lift off the majority of it before we actually hand wash, prevent further swirl marking. We're going to let the wheels keep on reacting to the wheel cleaner. As you can see, they're turning a bit purple. So it's going to get rid of a lot of our dirt on the wheels too and brake dust before we actually have to hand wash. These we'll do a proper hand wash later on, because we'll actually pull them off the car so we can get all the way through the barrel. So just going to rinse off the wheels, get rid of this excess brake dust. We'll let the snow foam sit so it can pull that dirt off without us actually mechanically touching the paint. And then we'll come back and rinse the car off for a hand wash. So we're going to rinse off our snow foam before we do our hand wash, hopefully pull off all that excess dirt. So now that our snow foam's all rinsed off, we're going to give it a quick hand wash. So after our hand wash, we can feel that the paint's still slightly gritty. So we're going to remove any of that contamination with a clay bar. This is a fresh, mild clay bar. It's fairly soft paint, so we don't have to go too hard on it. The contamination is pretty mild too. Also a clay lubricant. This one's actually mixed with some iron remover. It's a product from Detail Central, and it's in development still, so we're trialing it out for them on this car. This helps us remove a bit of extra without going too hard with the clay. Awesome. So we want to always keep straight lines. That way any marking that this clay bar puts in, you can still only see from two sides. If you do circular motions, you can see the scratch from all angles. So straight lines are a lot easier to make sure we've actually completely removed in our polishing process.
Follow the lights, follow the signs. Don't we got
So you want to make sure to always keep on flipping and kneading your clay to make sure that you're not putting any extra scratching in your paint than necessary. So as you can see, there's not a whole lot of contamination in this car. It's fairly good. But we're still going to go through and do this step just to make sure that we have a nice clean surface for polishing. It's a very important notice. If you have a chamois, throw it away. There's no pile for any dirt or dust to actually get picked up in a chamois. So anything, even light dust from the air that's fallen in the car in between your final rinse and your dry, you can drag it across your paint and put swirls in it. Drying is probably the harshest part of your wash, as you're removing your water, your lubrication away from the surface. So you want to at least use a very clean drying towel. Because we've done a clay on this car before correction, we're going to use a drying towel to dry it off. You can still have a pretty safe drying experience with a drying towel, again because of the pile in it. Always make sure it's clean. If it gets dropped on the ground, make sure it gets clean before use again. Once we've done our paint correction and our final wash, we'll actually blow dry the car to avoid any possible swirling from a drying towel, even though they are fairly safe. We'll do that step just to ensure 100% that we're not going to put any swirling in the drying process. So before we apply a ceramic coat paint protection, we want to remove any imperfections that we can in the paint, ensuring the deepest gloss and the best possible bonding surface for the ceramic. So this car, being a used car, has had a fair bit of washing in its life, has a lot of light scratching from washing. That dulls off the paint, takes away some of your gloss, and also means you've got a lot to distract your eye from the true color of the car. So with the light you can see a lot of this imperfection, sort of fair bit of swirling going on there. So we're just going to level the paint surface and give us our deepest gloss. We're probably aiming for about a 95% correction on this. We won't chase too deep scratches because then we're going to remove too much of the clear coat, and that's also not beneficial to the longevity of the paint. So this being glossy carbon, it's actually got the same 2K clear as the rest of the paintwork. So that's also got some swirling and a bit of water spotting on it. So it's quite dull. So we're going to try and correct as much of that out as possible before applying the ceramic to protect that into the future. So we're going to start in our paint correction on the R8. We're going to do this half of the bonnet so you can hopefully pick up the difference in the camera between before and after. We're going to go for about a 90–95% improvement on this. Obviously deeper marks, we don't want to take away too much clear, but we're going to get the biggest improvement possible out of the paint before we seal it up with our ceramic coat. So we've just polished up half the bonnet here so you can see sort of as much as we can on the camera before we've done any paint correction, to where we've actually, gotten about 95% of the scratching out. Super glossy, gets rid of the dullness from all the swirling and watermarking on the paint. So this gives us a nice fresh surface that we can prep and apply a ceramic to. So I'm not going to show you the next 2 days of polishing. We'll skip to once we're applying the ceramic and the finished product. So with the magic of YouTube, we're 2 days later and we've finished up our correction. We've then given the car a wash, pulled it into our clean room, and then IPA wiped it down, so alcohol prep, ready for our ceramic coating. So yeah, we've sort of gone over everywhere and got about a 95% improvement out of the scratching on the car. So no more swirls and just the deeper scratches left in the paint. Just because this is a daily driven car, we didn't want to take away too much paint. We want to keep a fair bit on there so it has longevity. Hence why we're also setting up with a ceramic coat to give it nice long-term protection. Alright, as you can see here, I'm applying our ceramic coat to the paint. This is a nice permanent layer of protection. So it's going to last a lot longer than your waxes and sealants, as well as add this super deep gloss to the paint. And you'll get about a 5 to 10 year lifespan of most ceramics. Most certified applicators will only apply with very high quality ceramics. So we have to be fairly quick when applying this product, so we usually work one panel at a time. We have about, depending on the weather, between 2 and 5 minutes to apply and wipe off the excess. So because today is slightly cooler, we have about 5 minutes to work with it. So we'll apply it to the whole panel, and then 2 of us will wipe it off to make sure we get everything off without leaving anything behind. And this will give us the best coverage and the best result. All right, you join us after we've finished all the ceramic on the paintwork. We've coated all the headlights and taillights as well as underneath the diffuser. All that's left in this one is we're going to coat the glass and wheels and we're ready for pickup for the customer. As you can see, the paint has a super deep gloss to it. It will keep this gloss now for the next 5 to 10 years. It's a permanent sealant, very nice beading to it, which will help you clean the car as you'll be able to pull off the majority of the dirt with a foam and a high pressure rinse. If you want to see more content like this, please feel free to chuck a subscribe and a like on this video and look out for future videos to come.